Hello, welcome back to Your Light in Darkness. I'm Ashley, and today we're going to talk about the mother wound and how it affects every area of your life. Having a mother wound is something that you're not conscious of how much it affects your life until you begin to do the healing work to reveal and to revise what's happened in your life. There are so many now that unconsciously have deep traumas. Some traumas are very apparent, but the thing with trauma is that it is multi-layered and multifaceted. And until you begin doing the healing work, you don't know the depth of the trauma. Having a mother wound is one of those such traumas, and it can be very challenging for you to face it, especially if you had a good mother. I know that sounds awkward, but a lot of times in society, people don't want to face the wounds of the mother. If you'll notice that people talk a lot about things dealing with the father, but the mother is a very sensitive, very touchy area. But you must face this trauma and begin to heal it if you want to free yourself from the bonds and the issues that you have in life. If you want to create a new version of the current reality that you live in, you're going to have to face the mother wound. And when I talk about the mother wound, for those of you that are new to me, when I talk about the mother wound, I mean the traumas that you have experienced in your life, either physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Things that have affected your self-awareness, your love of self, your self-esteem, your self-worth, your self-value, how you relate and deal with other people, the lens that you see in this life, that inner voice that's running inside of you. Mother wound has so much to do with all of that. The mother is our portal into this reality. And if you had a mother that had trauma herself, then know that that trauma was passed down to you unless she did healing work. And a lot of times with our mothers, depending on your age, they didn't have time to sit and focus on their trauma. Depending on the culture, the age, the experience, they didn't have time to sit and focus on healing trauma. But in today's day and age, you do. And if you're listening to me, you're ready to heal and do the inner work, the shadow work, all of the work, so that you can free yourself from the mother wound. It literally affects every area of your life, your livelihood, how you think about yourself, your friendships, romantic relationships, how you perceive yourself in importance. Whenever you're going out and trying to get a job, it affects that because it's affecting your self-esteem and your confidence, your self-worth, how you allow yourself to be treated, your boundaries, what you think about the world, life, people, how you relate to others. It affects your spiritual beliefs. It affects what you believe you can have, do, be in this life. So this is one of the most important wounds that you need to heal. And in the age that we are in the time that we are in, the divine feminine has risen. And it's more important than ever to be able to tap into your inner divine feminine, whether you are a male or a female. We all have these energies within us. And the female is the receptive energy, the intuitive energy, the one that taps into that spiritual nature, that spiritual flow, the spiritual realms easier than the masculine energy. And so if you have mother wounds, that can affect your spiritual self as well, as far as your divine feminine side, how you connect with the cosmos and the universe, how you allow yourself to create the power of your imagination. You're going to hear me talk a lot about your imagination and your mind, because ultimately when you're healing any type of wound, any type of trauma, you are healing not only the physical and emotional aspects, but the mental as well, because part of the work is getting to the point where you begin to take charge and command of your everyday reality. And in order to do that in a strong, good way, you have to have a firm belief of self and your abilities in your mind. And that comes through doing healing in different types of areas. Healing is something that you come to when it's time for you to, or when you've hit rock bottom and you're tired of the way things are. In my experience, that is what I've seen when people actually embrace healing and the fact that they need to heal no matter what the wound is. We're talking about the mother wound here, but that's when people really embrace it. Because if you want to go higher, if you want to live life differently, if you are a spiritual person and you are doing any type of spiritual work, I don't care what it is, you have to have that component of knowing. First comes faith, then comes knowing. But if you have a lot of wounds, you are unsure. And so it's very important to do your healing work. And we're focusing on the mother wound on this message. So I'm going to wrap up there. I encourage you, if you want to go deeper and you want to begin doing this work, I have created a class all about the mother wound. It goes in depth about what the mother wound is, how it shows up, what it does, why it may have happened, how to recognize it, and how to begin healing it. And it's a 3-part class. You can check out the class. It's in the link in my description, or if you're reading this transcript on my blog, I'll insert a link to it in that blog post. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. My email address is alightIndarkness4you@gmail.com. And I also make sure I list that in the description and in the transcript on my blog. Until next time, take good care of yourself. Until we speak again.